Hello all and welcome to the Football Manager Streamer Showdown YouTube channel and another conversation with one of its competitors of Season 5 of the Football Manager Streamer Showdown that is coming up this weekend. And my guest today hasn't just won 7 Streamer Showdown champions. Over the weekend, he was the winning manager of the Content Creators Cup. It is, of course, Lollujo. Kev, how are you, buddy?
Very good. I'd like to add manager of Team YouTube to my intro there. I mean, I'm not just any old Content Creators Cup winner. I am the current manager of Team YouTube. That I mean, if anyone from Google wants to put me on a salary for that, I'm a manager of real footballers now, Diz. You know, this is this video game like, it's fine, but I deal with humans these days. I'm a tactical genius. A masterclass was put on. A glorious 4-0 victory for Team YouTube, who, by the way, lost 8-3 last time to Team TikTok. That shows the difference I made.
The Lollujo effect, and we've seen it in the Streamer Showdown winning 7 times. We've now seen it over the weekend with the fact that your skills are transferable. But let's talk about the upcoming Streamer Showdown Season 5. It's the first time we are getting Clayts versus Lollujo since the last season of Football Manager 21, where neither of you performed amazingly. However, since then, you won Season 1, Clayts has won Season 4, and it's the first time you're coming together. Is this the clash you're looking forward to?
Absolutely. I mean, a couple of things to pick up on there, Diz. One, we don't count the last one of the year. I've told you about this before. It's the last day of term. It doesn't count. So we don't ever talk about that one. It's not on my record as far as I'm concerned.
My bad.
The thing I'm most looking forward to for facing Clayts is he's made about 4 or 5 thumbnails for me recently since he last sent me an invoice. So I think it's only fair that when I beat him, he writes all those thumbnails off and doesn't invoice me, and we're playing for thumbnails. I think that's fair.
Well, funny enough, I did speak to him about thumbnails and doing it for the community on a recent episode on another podcast, which I shall not name because apparently I plug it too much. But yeah, so apparently you are now playing not for Streamer Showdown Glory, but for Cold Hard Cash.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, Diz, I've won so many showdowns now. It's lost its oomph for me a little bit. I'd much rather have a year's supply of free thumbnails, Clayts. If you're listening, you're gonna put your thumbnails on the line, Clayts. Here we go. Free thumbnails for a year, or I pay double for my thumbnails for a year. See if he puts his money where his mouth is.
So can I ask, what is victory then? Is it winning the Streamer Showdown or just winning the game between you two in the league stage?
Oh, I'm not bothered about the league stage at all. Couldn't care less. It doesn't matter who I play. I genuinely don't care about the only goal on Saturday. Well, no, to be fair, there's 2 goals. Goal number 1 is make sure I don't end up in that playoff game. Goal number 2 is try out all my players and all my different tactics. I will always stick to that. I will always maintain Saturday doesn't matter until they start changing the Twitter bio and saying there's 2 champions and separate the 2. It needs to be a league and a cup, not a league that qualifies you for the cup. I don't care about the qualifying rounds as long as I qualify. So yeah, Saturday doesn't matter. I'm going to win the showdown on Sunday. I'd quite like to play Clayts in the final because it's always fun. We'll have a nice chat. And but I mean, I don't really mind who I beat. I'm just completely expecting to win again because, you know, Diz, that's what I do. I win the showdown.
You win. Kevy winning times, that's what we need to call you.
Exactly.
So in this Streamer Showdown, we have got 15 titles. So the 6 people who've won a Streamer Showdown in this Season 5, there's 15 titles between everyone. You and Clayts have got 10 of them. 8 out of the 9 competitors have been finalists. Do you see this as the most competitive field yet?
I mean, I imagine you know better than me whether it's the most competitive. If they're the biggest numbers there's been, then I guess so. I would hate for people to think I was arrogant, Diz, but I couldn't even list the 9 people who are in it. I actually don't really know, and it doesn't really matter because I think I'll win anyway. So yeah, if you're telling me there's more winners in this than there's ever been before, I will believe you and nod and say, yeah, it's really competitive. But yeah, from a full honesty box perspective, I don't actually know who else is in it, but I'm probably going to beat them because I usually do.
I'm really glad that your 7 showdown titles and obviously the weekend win haven't gone to your head, Kev.
Look, I prepare for this the same way I've always prepared for it. I just turn up and win. I'm more worried about my own squad and my own tactics, my own performance. Who I'm playing doesn't really matter. Either on the day, I will prepare better than them. I'll have a better team than them. I'll pick a better tactic than them. And then I just need that little bit of luck from the RNG to go my way. But I'll stack the deck in my favor the way I normally do. And more often than not, it works out fine. And it doesn't matter who I'm playing.
So, having seen the pool, people have questioned your drafting in FM22. Ultimately, you've ended up with 1 victory, although it wasn't your squad. What I will say is, having seen the pool, is this a pool that works for you? And just to remind you, it's the Premier League, La Liga, Bundesliga, Premier Liga, the Portuguese one, Italian Serie A, the Dutch Eredivisie, the Brazilian Brasileiro A, MLS, League One, and the Championship. Do you think that works in your favour?
I am expecting shenanigans, to be fair. So I'm not getting too set on that being the pool. We obviously don't know the budget size, which makes preparation very difficult. It's an enormous pool, which makes preparation very difficult. I assume they're going to be doing some kind of messing around with having certain leagues for certain draft picks, or removing certain leagues at certain times. I don't think we're going to be going in with a draft pool that size for the entire draw and getting free reign. So I'm not going to get too married to the idea that that's what we're going to be playing with. I'm a lot more flexible on the way I do my drafting now. I don't sit there. I used to do a full day sitting there filling in a big spreadsheet and doing all that kind of stuff, and I'm much more relaxed with it now and much more comfortable. I've learned how to use the filters in the draft thing. Because I don't ever use the player search screen and I don't look at attributes when I'm playing FM normally. It's not something I really knew how to do. I had to go and watch some videos to learn how to use the filters. But now I know how to use the filters and know that they've got the preset position stuff all built into there, and you can literally go and search for who is the best box-to-box midfielder, blah blah. You know how to. Everyone else knows how the filters work. It's just not something I knew how it works. Now I can do that. I'm pretty confident no matter what the pool is. I don't think they need to tell us in advance. Just whatever the pool is, I think it's fairly straightforward to do a pretty decent draft.
But then there are people who question your drafting in FM22.
Yeah, but those people are idiots, Diz.
Okay. No,
I mean,
I just want to know what your response was, and your response is clear. Those people are idiots.
Yeah, I mean, they can question all they like. The facts speak for themselves. I've won 7 showdowns. They can. What are they questioning there? I mean, I will value the opinion of the first person who wins more showdowns than me. If they say my drafting is questionable, if in a year's time you've got Clayts 8 times, and I haven't won another one since, and Clayts is there saying, yeah, Kev's drafting's gone off a little bit, then I might listen to him because he'll have a valid opinion on it. No one else does.
So, in relation to you and FM22, season 1 you win it. Season 2 you lose in the semi-finals, but you beat Ben after losing 3-0 in the first leg. You won 4-3. So
that was still the best thing that's happened in the showdown ever, I think. I still enjoy that more than any of the wins. And
that's why I wanted to highlight that, because for you, that is a victory.
Yeah.
Season 3, however, you were in the lowdown. Season 4, you were unable to... you were involved. Does that give you a bit of ring rust?
No. Not at all. I've missed showdowns before, remember. I'm not like Zealand, who just turns up every time and usually loses. You know, and then accidentally, because he's been in so many, because he's played more showdowns than anybody else, the law of averages dictate that he accidentally wins one every now and again. I've had lots of breaks. I missed a couple of showdowns when I moved house. I'm a busy man at weekends. We talked about it at the beginning of this interview. I have lots of stuff on at weekends. I'm not available every weekend. I'm not available every showdown. But I can turn it on when I am available and come along and win.
And that brings me nicely then onto my last question. And I feel like it's a bit of a silly question now, having heard you so far for the last 10 minutes, 41 seconds. But what can we expect from you at the end of this Streamer Showdown?
8. I will be Kevy 8 times by Sunday evening. I don't doubt it. Ultimately, I wouldn't bother taking part if I didn't think I was going to win.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I'm going to win again.
There is just one thing, though, I do want to bring up, though.
Go on.
Lollujo, Holly plays. Somebody who you haven't played against before. Somebody who you were really impressed with her drafting style. She obviously had a very Kev-like tournament. Is she somebody that you're keeping an eye on? Or is it a case of, once again, you know, I know we focused on Clayts and you literally says, don't turn up. Is she somebody you've got your eye on in relation to a potential threat?
I mean, you could have just as equally described Manny there way back when. He's someone who drafted really well, won a showdown that I wasn't in. People talked about how he was finally going to be the guy who toppled me. I came back, beat him 4-0. He's not returned. So, you know, I'm not afraid of any of them, Diz. Holly did draft very well the first time. Second time, maybe she looked a little bit like a one-trick pony. She tried to do the same thing again. It didn't quite work out, and she didn't really seem to know what to do when plan A wasn't there for her. So if she's coming up with a plan B, then maybe she's going to be a threat, but I'm not worried.
Well, that's great to hear, Kev. Thank you for taking your time to sit down with me, have a quick interview before the Streamer Showdown Season 5, which is this weekend on July the 2nd and 3rd, around 6 p.m. over on Twitch, the FM Streamer Showdown channel. Please make sure you check it out, where Kev is hoping to become Kevy 8 times.
Hoping. You are adorable.
Take care. Bye-bye.
Thank you, Diz. Bye.